Yeah, so it did start out the week trading higher. In this weekly wick here, this one, I want to see it stay below 50% to remain bearish. Otherwise, if we start climbing above this in these equal highs, these ones right here, gotta finish updating this. Bang. So draw that midpoint, this gap actually looks like it overlaps with the midpoint here. So we have a double opening range gap, consequent encroachment right there. And here, look at that. This is why I keep this end dog layout. Oh, that's what we ended up wicking up into. Now it's coming back down, so this week's new week opening gap here. This is an older end dog I use just to catch this price action. Oh, it rested nicely below this right here, so that's why I rang this one in. Even though it's a bit old. But here there's no setup yet for me. I doubt I'll take anything today too. This 50% here is this wick, this large one right here. So that's that midpoint. Right there. Stem this out a bit more. Can't even see a live chat or anything, or I don't know how to set this up. Yeah, I don't know. I have no fucking idea. Um, that's not fucking right. I am trying to figure stuff out, troubleshooting, figuring out and troubleshooting. How the fuck? Maybe I'll make a space too. I don't know. We're getting there. This still eyeing this area right here. Let's see. See if we get a little rally back up into here. Still though, no setup. I don't like this I was looking at, but it's kind of in no man's land a little bit. I like it to be anchored a bit more to a point, but no real gap fill in here. The buy side range delivered here for the gap, and then sell side range right over. Still nothing really for me. I mean, it's likely going here, but I don't have my way to engage yet. And just with this, I mean, there's no rush this week. It's FOMC next week. Interesting. Remember this 50 level is this one right here. That's what we're banging around on. Be wild if that's the high of the week. Fail getting up into that gap. Fail even touching that 50 point. The power of three. Open the session, trade higher, collapse. Same with the week. Open the week, trade higher to make our high. And then does its thing. Still have this. And even though there's a gap here, I don't really like it. It's not fully lined up over any of these quads, really. And there's not really a raid on buy side lately. There's no short-term high in here that was taken. This didn't reach up for anything. Make a short-term high there. Doesn't do much. Trades lower, so still just watching for this morning. Likely overall it's just practice and time in front of the chart, seeing where it's going. But I really like this point. I think we're gonna get here. See, it's a bit cleaner on the 5-minute. Yeah, just buy side. Ran it out right at 9:30. And then so far it hasn't really been able to get back up into this point. It's not the worst no news day either. It's still kind of chugging along nicely. It's not, doing this. Oh, I wasn't looking. Just hit that gap. Don't like though. We'll leave it. Could do something like this. And then might stop. Don't take, just framing. I'm not even taking. And stop kind of right there at the silver bullet gap. But there's no reason to force it. This would either work out and we'll watch it go and it'll be a good training exercise, or it'll show why you wait for all your criteria in case it rips up and takes you out. But just again, not taking, just watching. Do not take. Well, that's how it would be framed if we had like a rate on stops and the criteria was more there, but it's not, so still waiting. Excuse me. How'd that close? Ooh, don't like that. Close above. You have this rate on stops. Now it's turning into a bit more of a mess. Yeah. Coloring outside the lines a little bit. Did that on this gap to get up to here. Alright, let's see if it gives us what we want now. And this is what we want. But, yeah, there's, again, no horse in the race, no line in the water, nothing. We're just watching this morning. Oh. 'There's these. That's why I like the return back into the new week opening gap here. But even if we undercut that and we don't quite get there, we still have our opening range gap 50% times 2. Because this one, last week's, and that 50% is pretty much overlapped with today's opening range gap 50%, so there's like a double confluence right there. 1 second, I'm just gonna let this play out, I'll be back, but again, right here, all I'm watching for is see if we get that in our trading window. Oh. Alright, I'll be back in a sec. Keep watching. Alright, I'm back. We had our green circle, but not quite the level yet. Thanks for the comment. Great stream, holy. Yeah. Yep. Look how this level's being used. It's crazy. Let's see what this gap does. Oh, I hear myself. And they're in color outside the lines again. But do not like. I'm glad I'm not in any position right now, because this would be an annoying hold to start the week. This would suck. Even, like, imagine you were short from, like, right here, and you were targeting this, and you got some good expansion your way, then it came, ate it up, then it started going, and it looks like it was gonna get there, and it's right back. So, high resistance, lots of give and take. It is Monday of a week that looks like this, so we're not we're not rushing. Probably 11 latest. I'll be on for. I'll watch through all this. I don't really plan on doing anything, but I didn't see ICT's post. The guy is short from up here. The guy's wild, wild man. Yeah, this is garbage. Ooh, 2 viewers, let's go. And I'm half of them. Boom. Yeah, slow morning. Thing I want to see is when we measure from the 9:30 open to that high we made. Just change the color of our box. See what this looks like on the downside. Didn't quite make it there, but even that, the amount we reached above that 9:30 open, if we project that same range down, it's almost right on that 50%. Back into this. There's a volume imbalance. That's so far the trade of the day for me. Would have been this one, but yeah, there's nothing really to get in on. But as far as the one that's closest, in my understanding, that I'd take, it would be this right here. But I don't know, there's nowhere to really put your stop. It's too pleasant. Just do our circuit through all the other charts again. Falling just short of that. We have a Bissy overlapped with that silver bullet for value gap here. See if it draws back towards this. Unless we maintain a close below this midpoint. If we do that, we'll continue going down. We could look at this one. And that midpoint, if that breaks, range in here. So far this one's broke. So it doesn't look like we're gonna continue up to that. Look, left side, market maker buy model. Right side, market maker sell model. Right here. We do have a breaker right here. Good thing that works. Thank God. And I'm mainly bearish, so I want to look at the highs for SMT. And then see slightly. 048.50. 29. Got the high. 48.50. 50. 50. 50. Oh, tiny SMT there, but eh. This would be the Bessie that was formed on the raid through that high, but again, don't really like anything this morning. We're exercising and forging the patience muscle. This is how you do it. I mean, you see people like ICT, you're taking trades, you know, wherever, but he's a pro and we don't have to catch every move, just all the ones that make sense. And so far this morning, there's not a whole lot. Still, this is looking like it wants to roll over below this into here. That's what I'd be favoring. Maybe ICT was watching this live stream. And he's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. That's why I'm gonna trade this. Yeah, you never know. Order block right here. Testing back into it. I like this for lower as long as we don't come back and start fucking with the rejection block right here inside that gap. But I mean, look at this gap had very minimal going on in it. Formed going higher. Came back through it, came in, couldn't get to the 50%. There's the inversion, broke down. This one, the silver bullet one, is just traded through, respected, traded through color outside the lines, lots of coloring outside the lines. Yeah. Just very high resistance post 10 a.m. Pretty much just been consolidating. So yeah, this sucks trade. That's why we are sitting out. Sitting on the hands. Alright. There it's starting to reach a bit, but we'll see how much of a impediment this is. If it just cuts right through, or if it wants to do this and just fuck around on it for forever. Mark that one out. This one's also interesting too, because look at how it's overlaid on, I guess that would be the upper quad. Yeah, the upper quadrant of the opening range gap. And I do want to pay attention to the midline on it. Whatever. Just this level, right? Just a reminder that's this one right here. Right on. Now, we're just studying and tape reading now. I want to see it accelerate towards this and that mid gap level. And then no need for it to come back into the upper half of this. It should just stay heavy, or at least, I don't know why I wasn't in that before, stay in the lower half here. I don't really want to don't really want to see it do that. Yeah, that's it's a bit problematic for it wanting to come down to here. Yeah, no. Alright, I'm gonna watch this last macro, and then that'll wrap it up for me. So starting in 3 minutes or so. I'll just lay out our little macro line here. So the beautiful thing about doing this is there's been days where the biggest win for me was being able to just sit through an entire session of price action like this and not get lulled into doing anything. Like just being able to sit here and have your inclinations about where price may be going, but not acting on it and just sitting and watching it has been a very fruitful skill. And you can see the what price action is doing here. Now we do have a close back below this after retouching that, so it's a lot of give and take back and forth price action. This isn't really what you want to trade. Calendar was obviously a big indication we could be getting some price action like this coming. Overnight was a bit slower too. See, on the hourly, I mean, we're pretty much in a consolidation. We had previous bigger range last week ending that off, so it's going to spend a bit more time. I just want to see this get hit within the macro. I've been talking about this for, I don't know, all session. So now we're below this. with a close. Well, I'd want to see us remain in the lower half here, just like we tagged in, then now seek out this low and our terminus, which is at 50% nest. My mic is muted, thank God. And then even again, no trade, not taking, just framing it out. Something like that would be the low hanging fruit, just getting to that low. And then stop, I don't really. Right there would be a good place. Like, I'd do something like this. I don't need these crazy risk reward trades. I'd rather just take the surgical strikes and get out. But yeah, I don't really. I know I can wait, and there'll be a lot better setups we can take where we're not dealing with all this garbage. And you can wait. There's better. There's definitely a lot better. You don't have to have this crazy risk. I mean, something like that. Breathing room. But we are in the macro. It's the start. That's all I want. Just give me this inside the macro. That's all we want. You can see the structure here. High, low, higher, high, lower, low, comes up. Breaker right there, right? Trading lower. I guess this is my first like real stream with price action, so I don't have the overlay or any of those tools. I don't really know what I'm doing live streaming yet, but we'll get there for the one person that's maybe spent 2 minutes on this. Don't worry. Alright, do it. There's the low hanging fruit. Give me that. Give me this right here. See how long it takes to hit this. No, as long as the bodies stay below 50% of this wick close, then should be good for that. Is that a tiny gap? Nah. Like, when this high was rated out right there, and we have this gap that's formed on the run into that high, this is the one I like using as inversion, but you can see today, it was getting worked. I mean, this would have been tough. This would have been, if I was in anywhere in here, odds are I would have been break even and had partials on this wick. And then it would have just came and took you out and then went. So, pretty happy with myself being able to sit on my hands all morning and still map out where I think it's going to be going. But yeah, just not the best price action. For me anyway, for me to want to trade. At an hour now. Come on. Just give me the little moral victory and touch my imaginary gray line. No. Just touch it. Fucking touch it. One of them. Hey. Alright. We got it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got it. Great success. And yeah, now I don't really see much. I mean, these lows here have these equal lows. Return back to the new week opening gap. I could see that. But yeah, I mean, not really too concerned with anything right now. I don't know, we've been looking at this level since the opening range, so it's one skill I'm pretty proud developing is that patience and whatnot, so being able to tell over in here and through all this that we may likely draw down to this area, but being able to let it go, never really having your entry, and just being able to watch it, knowing that the model repeats and when it's there, it's there. But alright, we got my level here. Next I would just be looking for just a new week opening gap to be drawn towards. But that'll be it for now. Thanks for tuning in or listening or whoever's here doing whatever. Who knows? But I'll be back again tomorrow morning.